Hello everyone, my name is Belal ghamry from the Islamic University. Today I'm going to present a presentation about the theme of faith in Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet. First of all, we have outlines that can be provided to this presentation. First of all, we will have a brief summary about Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet. Then we will go see some quotes on the two plays and how they represent faith in both plays. Finally, we will see Shakespeare's perspective about faith. But first of all, we must define what is faith. Faith is defined as the development of events beyond a character control as determined by an unseen force. First of all, we have Macbeth summary. Macbeth's summary, Three Witches, tells the Scotch General Macbeth that he will be King of Scotland. Encouraged by his wife, Macbeth kills the king, becomes the new king, and kills more people out of paranoia. Civil wars erupts to overthrow Macbeth, resulting just more death on the kingdom. The second summary we have is about Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet is about a two couple are fallen in love despite the family that is against them. Juliet's father want his daughter to marry his choice. But Romeo attempts to hold a street fight, leads to the death of Juliet's own cousin, for which Romeo is banished in a desperate attempt to be reunited with Romeo. The second things we have is about Macbeth quotes. We will take some quotes, we will not read them, I will just explain faith in Macbeth. Faith in Macbeth is about the three witches that put down desire for Macbeth as fate plays its part. When Macbeth meets the witches, they tell him that his fortune future of becoming a king. Before Macbeth met the witches, he was a brideful in fighting for his leader, King Duncan. Fate is what determines Macbeth's future from here on, because Macbeth believed that the witches which made him eager to fill these dreams on his mind. Then we have another example. This is an example of faith, because instead of Macbeth dying in a battle, he became strong-minded and overcomes all his fears and stays alive. He overpowered his own faith, and it is only because of himself. If fate wants him to be a king, perhaps fate will just make it happen and he won't have to do anything. Just Macbeth, he hopes to won't have to kill the king, and he just going to wait for something to happen. But Macbeth leaves us hanging. It's never answered these questions of whether free will or fate determines a person's future. To me, Macbeth may be fated to be a king, but he decided all on his own that he will murder Duncan in order to obtain the crown. His action just suggests that fate may be predetermined, but free will determines how people reach their destinies. The second things we have, the second part of the presentation is about Romeo and Juliet quotes about faith. These are some quotes. We will take just the second one and the third one. The second one we have, when Juliet says she has an ill-divining soul. She means that she has a premonition of Romeo death. She knows Romeo death previous of that's happened. This of course foreshadows how she will see Romeo for the last time with her in her tomb. The third one, there's a lot of finger pointing in Romeo and Juliet, but we get the feeling that none of the fingers are pointed in the right direction. Here in this, we have, taking some of blame on himself. Frere Lawrence just blames in here in Faith, that Faith is the reason about these action that happens in Romeo and Juliet life. But although we have Romeo and Juliet did make their own choices. The story of Romeo and Juliet is controlled by faith over free will because of Juliet's relationship with her father, the build-up of misunderstanding, and the resolve that followed their death. Finally, we have Shakespeare perspective. Shakespeare's view of faith different a bit from the rest of the society. He believed that people ended up in this certain place and time by prediction, but he believed that they made the choices themselves to lead them there. Also, he believed that a hero downfall was due in a part to free choice, not the ailing of the stars or some astronomical theory. Shakespeare adapted this theory of questioning faith through free will, but used it in the perspective of the faith of all humans, not just the tragic hero or the comic ones. He mixed it up. Through their tragedies, Shakespeare demonstrates the extreme power of faith and how faith can not be altered. In the play, the lovers are aware of the controls of faith over their lives, but they do not realize that their destiny is unchangeable. We see that in Romeo and Juliet plays. Thank you for listening to me. This is Belal from the Islamic University.